We're live. So, today we've got a fairly potent topic of discussion. We're going to be looking at two different topics, really. One is, of course, the new moon in Aquarius and what that means for us collectively speaking. And two is how it ties into our relationship with the feminine. And this is one of those videos and pieces where if you think you have a particular projection about the way I see reality and spirituality, and that doesn't really align with who I am, you're going to have a wake up call and you're going to go, oh, maybe she's talking about something else. So it's one of those, if you hang around, great, and if you don't, you don't type videos. So, it's not a hello neighbor, but it's something that really gets into the core of the energy of what is happening right now. So let's get into it. Now, in terms of the actual astrology, we see that the new moon in Aquarius has just passed. It went exact at 23 degrees of Aquarius a couple of hours ago. Right now, the moon has just moved past that. It's at 26 degrees of Aquarius. So, this is the kind of energy that very much has a lot to do with the way we change reality. It's the way we change reality, it's the way we put in new structures, new conceptual maps to help reality operate or manifest in a particular way. If our thoughts had absolutely no influence on what we actually do and what we actually experience, we wouldn't be here. So the new moon in Aquarius is very much the power of the mental body. It's very much the power of the way we invest energy in abstraction. And I know it's a very abstract way of putting it, but it is what it is. It can be the kind of breakthrough that really helps you look past your own illusions, look past what you've been conditioned to internalize as truth or a particular perspective on the world. And it can be the idea that just helps you to open up and awaken to so many other frequencies that have been blocked from your line of sight. There's just been so much going on, even in the past few days, that have really worked towards shaking the very foundations of the way we collectively hold energy in our bodies, in our ancestral lines, in the earth, and our relationship with her. Remember the previous video I did on energetic earthquakes? And someone came and showed me, hey, there was actually an unprecedented level of activation of the Pacific coast. And astrology, as I said, it's not an abstract happening somewhere else or just not happening at all. It's not a game. It actually reflects what's happening in the here and now. So we're seeing multiple activations to the earth herself, to Gaia herself. We're seeing multiple wake up calls that ask us to think about who are we as beings that embody the feminine. Now, remember, feminine for me is not a person with boobs and a vagina. Feminine is an archetype that exists in all things. God as divinity is something that cannot be collapsed into a twofold gender binary. The feminine is an archetype that moves through everything that is formed and everything that is formless, everything that exists, everything that has existed, everything that cannot exist, and everything that eventually will. It is one of those things that cuts across completely. And I know I actually had to part ways with a lot of people in the priestess goddess movement because they had a very or exclusively organic vision of the feminine that just ended up excluding a lot of people. So it's not exactly the kind of energy that, or rather, it's not exactly the kind of archetype that lends itself to really be just put in flesh. For those of us who've done work on looking at the history, the anthropology, and from a metaphysical perspective, the memory of the way in which the feminine has been suppressed, yes, we recognize patriarchy has been a blight. But at the same time, those of us who remember also know that there were previous times on this planet where it was the other way around. To say that one side is a victim and one side is an aggressor exclusively is something that just doesn't make sense. The more you know, the less that particular binary makes sense. So when we actually come together and when we look at so much of the mental baggage and debris that we need to cut through to actually find a particular vibration of truth, this is the kind of new moon that makes it happen. Now, for those of you who are on tier 23 and have not received your video, don't worry about it. It's being uploaded as we speak. You're going to have a ton of material to work through. But as always, I'm giving the real gist and the real core of it here. So, one of the things that comes up very powerfully in our collective discussion surrounding the feminine is what do we do about the shadow feminine? And you got to understand that there are different shades of shadow. One is, of course, the feminine that is flat out someone who has been wounded, someone who is aggrieved, someone who wants justice for herself and her children, her body and her land that has been raped and taken. And that is completely legitimate. But then there are other aspects of the feminine. For those of you following me long enough, that I refer to it as the batshit crazy goddess syndrome. Actually, that's my brother's term. And it's the aspects of the feminine that have been victimized in a way where the aggression surrounding that victimization has become another inverted pedestal. It's not about finding justice. It's about finding a reason to hold on to that rage and to hold on to that toxicity. That's equally a part of the experience of working with the goddess, working with the priestess path, that a lot of people have not wanted to look at because they have found succor in, looking at their own personal feelings of victimization and disempowerment and going, hey, but here's how this person is powerful, even though they've been harmed. I get that. But the more you actually look at religion, any religion, old, really, really old writings and much more recent ones, you actually see ways in which the feminine has been straitjacketed to occupy. Yes, either she's a helpless victim, or she's a victim slash avenger, or she's a victim whose anger is instrumentalized by the patriarchy that controls her. Very rarely do we see the feminine actually allowed to process and be what she is, to have her experience, just having her experience. We don't find that in religion. We don't even find it in the way that people talk about the goddess path these days because it's another form of hierarchy. And so the feminine is beyond all of this. It is beyond all of these conceptualizations. It is beyond all of these narratives. And that is the cutting blade that Aquarius, I would say, asks us to collectively bring to this talk, to bring to this discussion. Because the more we actually realize how much we have been pitted against each other through these narratives, even narratives that on the surface seem like empowerment, the more we realize just, the collective control matrix that we all inhabit. And yes, astrology is absolutely a part of that control matrix. That's why when I do astrology, I do it to break it. I do not do it to enforce it. There are so many beings and people who are very excited about asteroids around feminine deities and feminine figures in myth and so on and so forth. And they think that talking about them saying, well, Eris does this, and it's all about the dark aspect, and Lilith does this, and it's all about this, and they get very excited about it, but they're not looking at the transmutation of the narrative that is behind it. So astrology can actually, in some sense, be, especially when you go into the more fine-tuned bodies, it can in fact reinforce some of these conceptual prisons in which we collectively are experiencing and processing or even avoiding our journey with the feminine. So this is one of those moons where the blade is striking hard, the blade is striking through, and the blade is creating waves and waves of cognitive dissonance for people who don't want to recognize that. And again, remember, feminine is in all things. This is not a very clean, clear cut thing of, what is it? White good, black bad, man bad, woman good. That doesn't work. That has never worked. And so this is where we are all challenged to go beyond those perceptions and even beyond the text that we have previously thought to be, this is sacredness. This is what I'm meant to do. And this is where we are being asked to challenge. Because what happens with this new moon, we see that it's actually also sextiled Eris in Aries at basically around 23, I believe, 23 degrees of Aries. And this is the cutting blade that absolutely yet again asks us to look at how are we looking at our conception of the feminine and how does it relate to our actual embodiment of it. And for those of you who have anything near 23, 24 degrees of Virgo, you're going to be experiencing this as an almighty yod or a finger of fate. And for those of you who look at esoteric asteroids, that's not too far from asteroid Atlantis. In fact, this new moon is conjunct the asteroid of Sumeria. Yes, of these old energies that are coming forth from thousands of years ago, especially to people who remember, especially to people who were there, and people who have seen certain pivotal key points in the ways in which feminine energy has changed expression through religion and worship on this planet. I mean, I remember looking at the way in which Ishta and Inanna, for example, were conflated together, two completely different goddesses, two completely different stories. One priestess, poetess comes along, wants to go and kind of and solidify her daddy's reign, and they go, well, no, we have the right to retell the story. So the feminine that is associated with vegetation and love becomes associated with a batshit crazy, quite abusive person to her partners, and they became wedded in the same deity. That was literally written by the oldest known author in humanity. So that is how all the distortion and the conflation, aspects of the feminine shadow that are unprocessed ego and aspects of the feminine shadow that are actually quite sacred, they've come together since then. They've journeyed together since then. So we're not just looking at things that patriarchy did from this planet. If you ask a guy in South India, he's completely different from what is being taught and politicized. And the reason being, if you actually find the real history, you cannot have the same narrative that empowers a particular group of people. That's not conspiracy theory. That's legit happening. The guy's name is Orissa Babu. You can look him up. So, this is where we're having to cut through everything that blocks us from seeing the truth. That is precisely what we need to do. And thank you for letting me know it's buffering. Thank you. I appreciate it. I have no idea why it's buffering. It doesn't like me. The internet doesn't like me, especially when I get excited. When I get a little bit more passionate than usual, it goes, no, we cannot let her speak. But you get the idea. But that's very much the kind of energy that has been coming through. Now, at a human level, a purely human level, probably the universe just going, baby, it's fine, don't get too pissed off. At the purely human level, for those of you who aren't into the metaphysics of things, who aren't into, looking at the ways in which religion, however old it is, however new it is, has forced us into a particular matrix, where even for people who don't look at things in that way, we've all been feeling this energy. It's been bringing up erratic, healthy, pulled into the dark night of the soul experience in, in like super encapsulated form. It's been just bringing up a lot of sudden rips and rifts and shifts. And no, this is way beyond Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is a baby compared to the energy that's being unleashed right now, especially with that powerful yod between the new moon, sun, moon, asteroid Samaria, Eris, and of course, asteroid Atlantis. That's a powerful yod. That is something that is energetically waking up and forcing us to break ways with things that no longer align. The thing is, no one that I have seen, that I have read or followed or felt compelled to look at, has, as it emerges through the age of Aquarius, all the damn things out there are Piscean bullshit. It's Pisces, 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 again and again and again. It looks really pretty. People are falling for it, left, right, and center. But when we look at the feminine in the age of Aquarius, it is unconventional. It doesn't give a damn about your stories. It doesn't give a damn about your feelings, but it will do the right thing in a way that actually honors all life, in a way that brings this web of connectivity and compassion and support in a way that doesn't require martyrs. Whether it's eros and that just create a particular space for female agency and put it there. And just a terrible reason, the soul is out. That's basically an unprocessed, unresolved soul that, has suddenly been granted psychic abilities. And people cannot tell the difference between what that is and actual divinity. And that's why this energy is a blade. That's why this energy is a breakthrough. Now you can ask, okay, all of this sounds terribly scary. What do I do? Where do I go? How do I find support? Feminine is. What is it that you believe in a future? You believe in a planet that is actually worth fighting for. What is it? What is it that is? This is the things, honey. There's no reason, absolutely no reason for this to be buffering the way it is. Zero reason, because it's actually high speed here. You know. There's most days I'm a cat. Most days, sometimes I'm more in because I'm just tired of it. I'm so tired of it. But effectively, we're all waking up, and we need to let go of what we think we know to wake up. We need to look at what actually lets us feel the divine. It doesn't have to be something in a church or a mosque or a synagogue or somewhere. It can be something as simple as someone who loves you enough to show up. And sometimes you are your own inspiration, and sometimes you're not, because no one is, completely perfect all of the time. But whatever it is, that's what you need to go to now. Whoever it is that gives you that sense of hope, that gives you that sense of connection, that gives you that sense of just wanting to let the feminine energy come through, however it is coming through in this new age. That's what you need to be focused on. And don't worry about the connection. Whether or not you can hear me, I am already speaking to you at other levels. It doesn't matter if you hear a word of this, you are already getting the energy. So don't worry. Don't worry. Just trust, close your eyes. If you can't hear the words, your soul is still listening. But having said that, I would say that's what I wanted to share with all of you today. This is the vibration. This is the frequency. Talk to the heart of the earth, minus all the bullshit. Talk to, if you want to call her Star Streya or any one of the other goddesses associated with justice. Talk to her in the skies. Talk to the archangels if you want to, but talk to that space that allows you to come into the most significant alignment. And when you know you're in alignment, because the Aquarian energy is like, it is love, it is light, but there is no namby-pamby to it. It is the kind of light that will cut you open and remove what needs to be removed so that you can actually be who you are. It's not something that comes with kid gloves. So allow this energy to move through you. Be honest with yourself and your own illusions. Be honest with, and I see Sarah's actually has a lot of activations going on in the skies right now. Be honest with what or who you have pedestalized in a certain way that actually isn't looking out for your best interests. It's a time for truth telling, and this energy is only going to continue. There's no turning back. But having said that, that's what I wanted to share. Let me look at the hellos. I know a lot of you have run away because of the buffering, but like I said, the energy, it's going out there. It's going out there. So let's see what we got here. Hello, Ginger Snaps. Hello, Latoya. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Julie. Hello, 305 Capricorn. Stomach surgery. I've had a lot of stomach stuff going on as well. Cappy Solidarity. Hello, Kimberly. Hello, Brandy. Hello, Candy. Hello, Love Child. Hello, Pepper. Hello, Shin. Thank you. Hello for Curiosity. Hello Thelma. Hello Funky Faye. Hello Soul 7. Hello Dr. Vidya N. Hello Carlette. Hello C. Davis. Lovely to see you. Hello Batwoman. My sincere condolences to you, Thelma. This is a time where souls are leaving for understandable reasons, but obviously that's not going to help you through grief. I hope you take the space that you need to move through what needs to be moved through. Let's continue. Hello, Monica. Hello, Luna. Hello, Goddess. Hello, Lex. Hello, Olivia. Hello, Michi. Hello, Ray. Hello, Amanda. You have a lack of understanding of what the feminine actually is. That is actually a good thing. The moment you claim to understand it, you probably don't. So that is actually a good thing. Hello, Queen Luna. Hello for Curiosity. Do animals feel the same impacts? Yes, they do. They are just souls in different bodies. They have, some of them have journeyed with you and you might not even know it. Hello, Gina. Hello, Jen. Hello, Search. Let's see. Hello, Light Simone. Hello, Soror Tamori. Hello, Aruka. Hello, Nacha Libre. Hello, Shelly. Okay. Dr. Vidya said you've been up for an hour. I was actually doing tier 23. You're probably just feeling the vibes of me doing tier 23 as well. So you'll get the link soon, Dr. Vidya. Hello, Mars. Let's see. Hello, Beanie. Hello, Gertie. Hello, Tree Essence. Let's see what we got here. Hello, V Stormfelt Witch. When are we not having a solar flare? Honestly. All right, let's see. Hello, Christine. Hello, Adelson. I've been fundamentally raging inside. Not much interested in shiny unicorns, but managing is hard AF. I like unicorns personally, but I also know there are a whole bunch of other things. Hello, Emily. Let's see. Hello, Day. Day is building a fire now. I like it. Hello, Ernst George. Okay. Let's see who else we got here. Hello, Lantern Hill Morgans and Pirate Cat. Hello, Magneto. Hello, Valerie. Hello, Anadonis. Ginger Snap wants to know what is the feminine energy, Dr. B? Oi, that's a huge question. Huge question. Hello, LF. Oh, Ginger Snaps, tachycardia, not fun. Not fun at all. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's coming up for people in different ways. Different health conditions are flaring. Just let your body align. Whatever that energy is your body trying to move through something. So if you can see it from that way, that actually eases some of the fear and some of the anxiety that goes through whatever that's happening as well. So I hope you do take care of yourself. Let's see. Pepper, the energy feels very unpredictable and it's difficult to feel the way forward. When will the energy find some certainty? Not anytime soon. This entire year, next year, we have Saturn and Uranus squared. I mean, you're looking at years before you find anything that we can call solid ground. No time soon. Anyone who's telling you otherwise is selling you something. Hello, Sair. Hello, Anadonis again. All this Aquarian energy has my hair frizzed out, but also focus on outcomes of my drives and long-term goals. That's very good. And in fact, that's one of the best ways of going forwards right now. It is very much focusing on what your values are. What is your true core? What are your true values? Who are the people that support your values? That is, the only certainty we are only have going to find right now is what we find in our own clarity. We cannot be expecting the planets to give it to us because they're doing something else. The only certainty you can find now is in your process to find clarity. And that clarity will always evolve, it will always change. The only thing you can be certain about is what you do to find it. Let's see. Hello, Don Edwards. Oh, okay, with your planted sage seeds. How very exciting. Very good. Raymond says, excited to report generative collaborations, okay, to better serve youth experiencing homelessness. Very good. Ginger Snap says, getting a stress test, but changing perspective will help. You are most welcome, Ginger Snaps. I know it's very, very scary when your heart especially does stuff like that. Something that might help would be something gentle. If you're going through grief, and the same thing applies for you, Thelma, chrysocolla would help a lot. Chryscolla. Let's see. Island Pressa says, aloha, glad I listened to Intuition and checked your page. It's buffering a lot. The internet does that when I have something powerful to say. Do not worry, you are still getting the message. Tree Essence says, this energy has me feeling ready for the next lifetime. Good. Carl Pope. Ah, it's lovely to see you. Now, here is a man with a lot of valuable stuff to say. Carl is probably one of my favorite commentators. Just been talking about why we need to break through the bullshit, Carl. I'm sure you understand that. Nacha Libre says, I'm just having too much energy and anxiety, can't relax, trying to stay grounded. You know what will help? Singing. At least for me. I like to sing. And singing helps. Obviously, you know who my soulmate is, my number one girl. And no, that doesn't mean I have a girlfriend because some of you have thought I meant that. No, I mean my daughter. Um, so she keeps me grounded. She keeps me happy, and she just has a way of looking at me, and she has a way of saying, "Mommy, I see you," and that's cool. But whoever that person is for you, find it. And even it's not a person, it might be an activity. It might be your favorite tree. It might be a cup of chocolate. Whatever it is, find that which brings you home. Oh, Shelley, lost your mom 1 week ago, and it has been rough. I am sorry to hear it. I can see there's a lot of that going around, but please be gentle with yourself and know that these changes are also part of, as you said, resetting generational patterns. Let's see, what do we have here? Mm-mm-mm. Okay. All right. Well, I think that about covers the questions. Those of you who've just joined, we have a powerful energetic transmission today, which is why the internet hates it. But don't worry, even when it's buffering, you will still feel the energy. Close your eyes, it is moving as a stream. The internet cannot stop my energy. So, just close your eyes and let it move as a stream. You will still get the message. And for those of you, tier 23ers who are waiting for your video, you should get it as fairly shortly as I am uploading. and there's a lot of information there. So let's start to wrap up. We've got a lot of stuff covered in this particular video, and those of you who've been following for a while know that it's very consistent with what I've been saying about the way we need to deconstruct our narrative and our understanding surrounding the feminine, because a lot of it is just more Piscean dress up, and quite often it's patriarchy but in a skirt. No offense to people who actually are trans or who wear drag, but effectively sometimes that is literally the way the goddess gets talked about in contemporary space. Oh, another says, how does all of this Aquarius affecting your emotional body? That's a very good question. Aquarian energies they tend to be very mentally activating. There's a lot of activations, especially at the astral level. And people can get very, very high and very, very frazzled about this. But for me, I can only speak of myself personally. Um, for me, Aquarius doesn't mean jack shit if it doesn't come from your heart. So I don't really pay much attention to it unless I feel it here first. And that's how I deal with all of the energetic potential overload and burnout. Let's see that. Oh, Annie says hello. Hello, Annie. Ginger Snap says, how are you doing, Dr. B? I feel like we don't ask enough. Thank you. That's very sweet. The past 3 days have been terrible. In fact, I am getting myself tested for COVID later today because it's been really, really bad health wise. I don't think I have it because I've been under. Basically, I live like a hermit anyway. It's very unlikely I have it, but it's been a myriad of very, very strange health symptoms. It could just be past life bullshit because for whatever reason, I've been about at a lot of key moments in this particular planet. So whenever collective alignments hit, everything remembers, hey, she was there. Let's go try and mess about. So we've been dealing with a lot of psychic stuff, a lot of which has been unpleasant, and that has translated to a lot of physical discomfort, a lot of physical pain. But I've been like in very heavy meditation and so on, or trying to for the past 3 days, and finally I made a breakthrough today. So finally I could speak. You know what I'm like? If I haven't worked with the energy, there's no point of me talking about it. If I haven't crossed that bridge, I can't tell you how to walk it, or at least say, hey, this is the way I did it. Find something that works for you. So it's been rough. It's been so bad, so rough, but you just got to move through it. You know, I guess it's just that's the way I am these days. You just got to move through it. It's no one said it was fun. No one said it was easy. Sometimes there are moments of that. There are moments of that. But it's been just very humbling because I've been also looking at all of the goodwill and all of the good emotion and all of the good beings out there that are actually trying to help humanity. And in that sense, that has also been a very humbling and reconnective experience. So that's how I have been. Multi layered as usual. Not easy, but doing my best. Enjoying the fact that the seeds I have planted in my garden are happily sprouting all over the place. It's fantastic. I don't know what it's going to look like in a few months, but I will show it to you when I see it. And hopefully today I can go and plant me some red sunflowers and the hottest chili pepper in the well, used to be the hottest chili pepper in the world. It's called ghost chili. It's got nothing to do with ghosts. It was originally called Naga Jolokia, Naga from the name Nagaland, which is a state in India. And so people translated it as, you know, they did something. They translated it in a different way. So, but I like having some ghost peppers around the house. They really change the vibration of things. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of gardening today because I'm feeling better. For me, a lot of my health issues are 99% of the time related to psychic and spiritual past life stuff. 99% of the time. But just in case, given what's happening in the world, I am getting myself checked out today. And thankfully, Malaysia has now embraced the concept of home quarantine because otherwise, I'm going to cry and say, I need to be with my cat, which is absolutely true, by the way. So that's what's happening with me. Thankfully, I'm having a little bit more of an appetite, but we'll see. We'll see. Knowing American Opulence says greetings. Thank you. Black God says thank you, Dr. B, sending you positive energy. Thank you, Coyote Prophet. Two men whom I like seeing online. Black God, Coyote Prophet as well, and Carl, who's also on. Lovely to see all of you. Hello, Evie Love. Hello, Dusana. Um, Let's see. Okay. Getting a lot of well wishes. All right. Thank you. Dr. B. Care Bear Warrior. My boyfriend is going to love that. He literally started a channel called Care Bears Are Real. After seeing a previous discussion, and he wants to go do interview with human Care Bears. So he wants me to be like, I think, the first interviewee. But we'll see if that happens. So that'll be cool. I can't wait to introduce you to him at some point. Shin says, I had a dream last night about calling out a serial killer who started killing my coworkers. But it was also people were being casual about it all because I was watching videos about Pluto aspects. Oh my. Ginger Snap says, is there anything we can do to help? Sending as much positive energy that's needed. Thank you. That is very kind. If that comes to a point where, and I'm hoping it won't happen, but if it comes to a point where I can't work, because that's why I had to cancel sessions, I'm hoping that, you will also financially help me find a buffer space so that I can actually recover, because I don't want to push myself too hard. Like, I literally could not speak. I literally could not speak for a while. But I also know, and I'm not saying this from a place of ego, it just is what it is. I also know the moment I transmute energy, and it's true for everybody, it's just some people tend to have a larger field around them. For whatever reason, it makes life interesting. Um, but the more I transmute collective energy, the more my personal circumstances ease almost immediately. So, it's hard work. I don't know why I chose this life apparently, but I did. I'm just glad my cat is here. So, let's see. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Prayers for a negative test. Yes, thank you. Mm-mm-mm. Liv says, hi, Dr. B. How do you know that your symptoms are tied to past lives? Because with astrology, I mean, first of all, I'll get the psychic vision. Most of the time, I already know exactly what's happening with someone because of a psychic vision, but I use the astrology to kind of act as okay, this is not just my biases, or this is not my lack of knowledge. This actually ties in with the mathematical structure of the energy. So there are very specific things that indicate health symptoms and so on that have to do with past lives. So a certain asteroid may be triggered in a particular sign that may have a strong correspondence with the physical body because it's all laid out there. That's why astrology is the master control matrix. So, for example, someone with a very, very heavily aspected Virgo is far more likely to have a stomach symptom because Virgo very much deals with the digestion. It deals with your ability to assimilate information and resources and food. So in that sense, it's a very, very tiny example. And of course, I would know where a lot of my own past life stuff is located. So when I see certain alignments and certain triggers and I have a psychic vision, I'll go, oh, okay, that's how the dots connect. As I was saying, this particular new moon is conjunct the asteroid that deals with Sumeria. And it's in conjunct, forming a big yod or finger of fate with the asteroid that deals with Atlantis. There's a lot coming up in terms of past life symptoms and past life activations. Just please do not romanticize anything. If you're in any civilization long enough, you will remember what was actually there. Dusana says you were spot on about that vibe check too, by the way. Thank you. I'm glad to hear it. Let's see. Oh, okay. Get a nebulizer if they're available. Is that spray thingy for the nose? Because I have had that. Island Pressa says, have you laid outside in the sunshine recently? Yes, I have. Well, not lying down because there's a lot of ants in my garden, but sitting down and looking at things. Wow. Okay. So Amanda dreamt that at a date she was hunting a serial killer. Oh my goodness. Okay. Seeds of hope. All right. Oh no. Christopher Scott says pawn stars aren't loyal. Being in love with this one hurts. Wow. That is definitely a line that I never thought that I would ever see on my on my chat thing. I'm sorry to hear you're in pain. I really am. But okay, it's still definitely okay. Interesting. Don Shell says, hello, Sky Priest. Hello, Don Shell. Lovely to see you. Okay, Mimi Tempest had a dream about a deity. Interesting. Yeah, see, everyone's like waking up in different ways and remembering different things. You just got to be really careful. Just because you remember something from the past doesn't mean it's necessarily good. This is when I meet people who are really like, yes, we want to bring back the old ways. I go, honey, if the old ways were that great, we wouldn't be having this particular experience of reality. If everything was supposed to work the way they tell you, we wouldn't be doing this. So, this is where you got to think about what is the hype surrounding religious and spiritual paths and their efficacy, and what is the actual reality that we experience. Thelma says, okay, particular kriya as a preventative. If I know what you're talking about and I think I do, you can. It all depends on what your path is. Nicole says, Aloha Sky Priestess, Happy New Moon. Lovely to see you, Nicole. I hope you are well. Uh, oh, Christopher Scott says 1,000 years wouldn't be long enough. See, that's how soulmate karma gets generated. Honestly, we all deserve love, and we deserve love that is aligned with the core of who we are. Holding on to something that either doesn't deserve you or doesn't respect the core of you, whatever that may be, doesn't help you or anybody else. Um, okay, right, here we go. V Storm Felt Witch says, hey now, okay, come on. And he's in pain. Come on, Storm Feltridge. He's in pain. Anadonis says, oh, one more question. Have you known of immediate late family to come through and give messages regarding their descendants' lifespan? Sometimes that happens, but you got to ask yourself if that person actually knows what they're talking about. Very often, ancestors are very nosy and they tell you things on the basis of the experience of life that they have. That doesn't mean that they're absolute. Let's see. I'm sorry, Christopher. I really am. Please just know that, like I said, people deserve love that honors them and love that they are willing to honor as well. It sucks, but just remember, true love ain't gonna do that to you. Okay? Let's see. Marissa Kang says, Happy New Year of the Ox Fiery. Oh, Happy New Year to you too, Marissa. Apparently, for tigers, which I am, fire tiger, dramatic, so dramatic. Apparently, for tigers, this is going to be a year of hidden income. Let's see. Let's see. Stray Panther says, Sky Goddess, good evening. Good evening to you. But yeah, I think, oh, hang on. Andrea Millen says, what are your thoughts on hummingbirds and their connection to our ancestors' messages and wisdom? Hmm. Depends on the tradition, really. But I find I like hummingbirds a lot. I think they're really cool. I think they're always a message of defiance, personally. And it's to say that, screw what people think is possible. You're gonna do you anyway. Those are basically my deep thoughts on hummingbirds. Ah, I see. Oh, Christopher seems to be in a bit of a situation. Well, I hope you can find a way through this. Oh, okay. Another says, hummingbird has long been associated as one of Ma Aya's envoys. That is interesting. Okay. So I would say it's about time to wrap up. The energy is kind of probably peaked. And I send all of you love. I send all of you joy. I send, most importantly, I send all of you the truths and wishes for a clarity that is beyond the biases of your own ego and the indoctrination that your soul has experienced through lifetimes. When we arise, awaken, and be into the feminine frequency that is aligned to the age of Aquarius, it's going to be a new dawn, a new chapter, and a new time. And we are in the death throes of the old world. So expect more change, expect more transformation. And like I said, the only certainty is this: this is what brings you home. So take care. Very, very many blessings and lots of love to all of you. Christopher, why are you calling me a porn star? So weird. But anyway, lots of blessings and love to all of you. And ciao, ciao for now. Bye bye, sweeties.